With Malakai Black breaking his silence and more, this is Wrestling Hub. My name is John, and you're watching the Wrestling Report for September 18th. Before we get into the rest of the video, make sure you subscribe to Wrestling Hub and turn on all notifications to stay up to date with everything in the world of pro wrestling. Also, don't forget to follow us on Instagram at Wrestling Hub Official and follow us on Twitter at Wrestling_Hub. Talking about making the move from WCW to WWE, Diamond Dallas Page revealed on his podcast that he holds no grudges towards the McMahon family. Personally, I think Vince had a good run, even though he didn't really do anything good with me. That was never to me personally. It was WCW. They were going to crush anybody who was the top guy to come in from WCW to make a point. I really enjoyed doing the things I do at WWE. I'm back there again and doing stuff again with them. Paul Levesque is the guy, but I don't think that Stephanie McMahon is not. That is one of the smartest people in the business, and I'm sure they talk about stuff all the time because that's the element of the couple that they are. I did the Battle Royal and they gave me the entrance, and I'm 61 years old at the time. I just walked up to both of them and gave them a big hug and thanked them for letting me go out there and just have a little fun dropping some cutters and getting thrown over the top rope and getting a nice payday. Around the time of streaming their latest tapings, the NWA had a mandatory talent meeting as Fightful reported that Luke Hawx spoke about that aspect of things and it turned some people off. But others saw where he was coming from because he's in promotional business with NWA for the upcoming Hard Times taping. Despite that turning some people off, there wasn't said to be any heat, just some veterans thinking they didn't need to waste their time with the meeting. One veteran, however, said that nothing newsworthy really happened during the meeting and it wasn't unlike anything else they've experienced. They just felt like it caught some people off guard because almost nobody there was contracted full time, and they're around for one weekend every couple of months. Posting a video to her YouTube channel, Thunder Rosa gave an update on her recovery, saying, "Hello everyone, sorry I've been gone. I just came back from my little break. I'm here at the South Texas Spine and Joint Institute with Dr. Kaiser. He's the one who helped me out. Find out that I had a back injury. I'll be coming here pretty often. I've been treated by him for over 4 years, so he knows me very well. So I just had my first treatment. It's going to be 6 weeks just to start. I'm going to be here 4 times a week. Been up and about all day, since like 8 in the morning. I'm doing my first physical therapy session today. This is after 6 weeks of being injured. Not traveling has actually made a huge difference." When Kurt Angle was facing Eddie Guerrero on SmackDown before Unforgiven 2000, where Jerry Lawler had an interesting proposal during an ad break, he said on his podcast it was the worst idea in the world for Jerry Lawler to have fans show their puppies. Whether it's during the show or during commercial break, that's when the fans don't get involved in the match anymore. They're more interested in seeing naked women in the crowd, and I don't blame them for that. The thing is, it's something that we tried. It was the wrong thing, we didn't do it anymore after that. Talking to Renee Dupree on his podcast, Brian Pillman Jr. spoke about his tag team with Griff Garrison and how it changed after losing Julia Hart. As soon as we lost Julia Hart, we lost our edge and our spark that made us a good babyface group that could have gotten over. But somebody came in and decided she would be better with House of Black. That's just how it goes. I definitely wasn't happy with it, to be quite honest. It is what it is. It's business. I thought probably what really stopped us from seeing the true potential of the Varsity Blondes was that we lost her before we really got going. To have that taken apart was kind of rough for me at that point in my career, but I'm very happy with how it turned out. Really happy with the moment she had at the pay-per-view, very happy with being in AEW in general. I don't think that the Varsity Blondes was the fullest creative extension of myself, but I think people will look back on the Varsity Blondes quite fondly actually. Who knows what's next for us? When it comes to the location for AEW's Revolution event next year, Sean Ross Sapp wrote that AEW tentatively has slated the Cow Palace in San Francisco for their pay-per-view special. The show usually opens in February or March, though we don't have a date on it yet. Apparently, WWE has not held a Cow Palace show in 10 years, with the last pro wrestling event in the venue being the New Japan G1 in 2019. On the Dynamite Download podcast, TNT champion Wardlow was asked about veterans of the wrestling business he goes to for advice in AEW. As he said, Billy Gunn helped me for a long time when I was going through that phase where I was just murdering everybody. It was him giving me some sort of tweak every week. I just remember being so excited every week to come back every week to do it again and tweak whatever we had talked about. I'd fix that and he'd have something new for me. It was really this cool thing for a while, and he still helps me to this day. I love Cody and I'll always support Cody no matter what he's doing. He's never been anything but kind and supportive of me, and I've never seen him be anything other than that with other people. Once again, talking about the potential perspective of AEW President Tony Khan during the drama unfolding from the post-All Out press conference, Eric Bischoff said on Keeping It 100 that, "I just can't imagine what executives at Warner Discovery are thinking about when now this is the second time that's happened, right? MJF did the same thing a couple months ago, and in front of, by the way, a bunch of executives who were in the arena is from what I've heard. Now we see the same thing again from a different guy. If I'm an executive in a media company and I'm thinking about stroking a check for $45 million a year to somebody, I kind of want to know they got their stuff together, and what I saw, I was humiliated for Tony. I really was." With it previously reported by PW Insider that majority of the locker room is standing by the Young Bucks after they and Kenny Omega got into a brawl with CM Punk and Ace Steel, Jim Cornette commented on those claiming this is a work, because it's not a work, and you can't put this together where anybody benefits in any way whatsoever if it is a work. If it was a work, I should say. Again, from the Montreal Screwjob to whatever everybody wants to think that everything in wrestling is the work, because 98% of everything, or 99, or whatever the overwhelming statistic, is a work. But I think now people are trying to figure out a way to justify this in their own mind as being a work because it's so ridiculous. Recalling the pizza cutter spot from his match against Nick Gage on Dynamite, which upset Domino's officials, who aired an ad during that bout, Chris Jericho said on his podcast that was so hilarious. So Nick wanted to do a pizza cutter, that's one of his gimmicks. So right out of the gate, he slices my arm with a pizza cutter. I still have a scar there. And that gets people like, holy this is real. And then during the commercial break, he starts slicing my forehead with the pizza cutter in picture-in-picture. So right when Nick is carving my forehead with the pizza cutter, there is a Domino's pizza commercial, where the guy is cutting the pizza with what? A pizza cutter. And apparently Domino's was furious. And this was, AEW is going to lose all their sponsors and this is it. This is the end of the line. Nothing ever happened. I was like, if I was the Domino's guy, I would have filmed a Chris Jericho Nick Gage commercial the next day. It's right there. Pizza cutters, Domino's, it goes hand in hand. Speaking to Chris Van Vliet about his early days in WWE, Cesaro noted that in developmental, Tyler Breeze potentially saved his career in the company. "I just got FCW and I wrestled my first match ever against him on FCW TV. I don't think they were very high on him at the time," which I don't know, and the uppercut he was talking about was when I popped the guy up and I uppercut them on the way down, and he just took it like a madman and went super high in the sky, and I took his head off. I uppercut his head off, but saved his job in the process because they were not high on him before. As Roman Reigns is set to defend his undisputed Universal title against Logan Paul at Crown Jewel, the Tribal Chief mentioned to Boxing Social how he plans on beating him. Well, this one could be exciting. Wise man Paul Heyman, typically two options. We're going to guillotine him, or we're going to spear him in half. We might just Superman punch him. He's a boxer, right? Floyd Mayweather. I boxed Floyd Mayweather for 8 rounds. Maybe one Superman punch, break his jaw, send him home unhappy. Reigns would add, it's the experience, right? That's what these vloggers do. It's not about having legitimate talent or skills. It's look at me. I can film all day long, consecutively all year long. That's my talent. So we're going to give him some good vlogging material. Speaking to Seconds Out, Reigns mentioned why he had no idea who Paul was prior to WWE. Before he came here, no disrespect, didn't know who he was. I'm not a 15-year-old little girl, so I don't have any problems with him not watching me because he was busy doing what he does, and that's videotaping himself doing God knows what. So go videotape yourself doing God knows what and leave the true professionalism, the sports entertainment, the professional wrestling to people like me. When asked about what he can offer WWE that no other celebrity can, Logan Paul told Bleacher Report, "This is no diss to WWE, but I told them this before I signed my contract. I'm a good amplifier. I cross over big, mainstream events. The WWE is a universe and it's huge, but I told Triple H I want to make this a multiverse. How do we bring in people that aren't necessarily watching WWE to the sport? I think I bring the eyeballs. I think they know it." After being granted what has been called a highly conditional release from AEW, it seems the leader of the House of Black has issued a statement at Prestige Wrestling where he competed last night. Malakai Black says that he knows we have many questions about his future and he will answer them when the time is right. "Please allow me a few weeks or months to recalibrate myself. This is not goodbye, and we will see each other very soon." Going back to the backstage brawl in AEW following All Out, it was said that producer for the company Ace Steel intervened and pulled the hair of and bit Kenny Omega. The cleaner was recently spotted back in Japan as a picture from there reveals where he was potentially bitten. And this was your pro wrestling news update. I hope you're all having a great day. Thank you so much for watching, and I'll see you later.